What if I told you Nigeria didn't just become part of the British Empire, but was cleverly taken piece by piece, city by city, through tricks, treaties, and trade? Let's go back to the early 1800s, before Nigeria was even called Nigeria. At this time, the land was home to powerful independent kingdoms: the Oyo Empire in the west, the Benin Kingdom in the south, the Sokoto Caliphate in the north, and several thriving Igbo communities in the east. These civilizations had their own governments, armies, and economies. They traded with Europe but still ruled themselves. But Britain had a plan, and it started on the coast. In 1851, British naval forces sailed to Lagos. On the surface, it was about ending the slave trade. But behind the scenes, it was about controlling the trade routes. In 1861, a treaty was signed, or rather pressured, that handed Lagos over to British control. From there, they expanded, not with brute force at first, but with treaties, trade agreements, and missionaries. As more land came under British control, local leaders were offered deals. Some agreed, thinking it would bring peace or trade. Others resisted and were removed, imprisoned, or replaced. The British formed two territories: Northern Protectorate, 1900, Southern Protectorate, 1900, but Nigeria still didn't exist yet. In 1914, a British governor named Lord Lugard signed a document that merged the Northern and Southern Protectorates. He called it Nigeria, a name coined by his wife Flora Shaw, taken from the Niger River. The people didn't choose it. The leaders weren't consulted. It was simply declared. From there, British officials ruled indirectly, using traditional rulers like emirs and chiefs to enforce British policies. It was called indirect rule, but the decisions came from London. Laws changed, resources were extracted. Roads and railways were built not for Nigerians, but to move goods like palm oil, tin, and cocoa to British ships. By the 1940s and 50s, Nigerians began demanding change. Newspapers spread awareness. Students, workers, and thinkers began asking real questions. People like Nnamdi Azikiwe, Obafemi Awolowo, Ahmadu Bello, and others started planting the seeds for independence. But that, my friend, is a story for another day. Now you know how it began. But do you know how it ended? Tap the like button if you never heard this full story before. Comment part 2 if you want to know how Nigeria fought to break free. And don't forget to subscribe. Real history. In the face of oppression, resistance grew stronger and the resolve of the people was unshakable. The streets echoed with cries for liberation while leaders organized movements that united various factions. With every protest, the dream of self-governance drew closer, igniting hope across the nation. Then came the day when the sacrifices of many turned into triumph, as Nigeria finally broke free from colonial rule, forging a new path. This moment marked the beginning of a new chapter, one that would shape the identity of an entire nation.